Thank you, Judy. Beloved members of the class of 1963, many of whom are still here with us today. We're all celebrating our 81st birthdays this year. I missed the 80th celebration last year because I was on assignment in Honduras, but that's the first time I've missed any of our reunions over the years. The class of 1963, as Judy already said, was a very, very special class. We are not baby boomers because we were born either during the war, while it was still going on, and I myself was born in July. We had VE Day already, but we still didn't have VJ Day. And my father at that time was in Iwo Jima. So all of our parents then were part of the great generation, the generation that lived through the Depression and then brought our country through World War II and then began to rebuild our country after the war. They were great parents. They were proud. They were proud of what had gone on through their lives through the war. We remember, of course, here in North Platte, Nebraska, the canteen, the UP canteen, which served thousands and thousands of our military during the Second World War. Unfortunately, that museum is not here today due to a decision by the UP Railroad. So 62 years ago, our faculty launched into this world the class of 1963. We came from a school that had a very excellent integrated education. Regardless of where we were going to go from there in our vocations, we were prepared. And the wonderful thing about attending school at North Platte High School at that time was the fact that we had a great variety of disciplines that were taught to us. And so even though I was not really interested in going to shop, for instance, but it was a requirement, after I went to shop, I learned a lot of things in there that I have used the rest of my life. And as a missionary, one of the things that has been important is that we be able to repair things because we live in a culture here that we expect things to work right. We expect the plumbing to work right. We expect to have water when we open the tap. We expect to be able to plug into the electrical outlet and have electricity. Things just don't work the same in other countries. And a lot of times then, what I learned in shop and what I learned just hanging out at my great uncle's farm in Sutherland, I've used all of my life because I became kind of a jack of all trades. And I think that was the important thing about the education that we received as a class of 1963. We had teachers who inspired us. I remember in the 8th grade, our 8th grade American history teacher, Pansy Johnson, she subscribed to the Weekly Reader. And we all sat down and we read the Weekly Reader. And there was an article in one of those that talked about how the advances in agriculture, that we were going to be able to feed the world through advances in agriculture. And then later on, when we were in high school, we were taking political science. We had Mrs. Sloan, who taught us. She subscribed to the National Observer, and she would have us read articles about national politics and so forth, and we would be able to discuss that. And we learned how to talk to each other and how to discuss these things civilly. I think the value of the education that we received then prepared us, regardless of whether we were going to go to college. And at that time, too, many of us were the first in our families to go off to college. This was just an unheard of thing in 1963. And so we were very privileged if we were prepared and ready to go to college. There were several Regents recipients, scholarship recipients to the University of Nebraska. And there were several scholarship recipients in many other areas. But we went away then inspired Those that went to college, they went to become professionals. They went to become educators, teachers, superintendents, doctors. And if they didn't go off to do that, they stayed here at home. And they kept the home fires burning too. Many joined their family businesses or they started their own businesses. Many of them worked for the railroad. And many of them, they had the family farm. And they went out and they earned their living then from the soil. So in all cases, we were prepared because we had all of those disciplines that were shared with us, that were available to us at North Platte High School at that time. And our teachers, they were all excellent. From my very first teacher at Lincoln Elementary School in kindergarten, then I had a lapse of 4 years at Sutherland in grade school. I came back in the 8th grade, and from the 8th grade on then was here at North Platte High School and junior high. I can't tell you how great it was to be here, to receive an education through North Platte High School. Our 8th grade algebra teacher, Mr. Coleman, often spoke very respectively about Margaret Morton, the advanced algebra teacher and trigonometry teacher. And he would always refer to her whenever there was a problem or that he could not solve. We had the very best of teachers. Many had served actually in World War II and then gone on to school afterwards to become teachers. One of my favorites was Mr. Eves, who had served in the U.S. Navy during World War II, and he was our chemistry teacher. But he always talked about what he did in the Navy. He flew poopy bags, which were blimps. And so many of these experiences that they shared with us were valuable experiences for our lives to come. As we were launched in 1973, our nation was engaged in a war in Vietnam. Many of our graduates then went to serve in that war. Fortunately, I don't know of any of our schoolmates, our classmates, that perished in that war, but we were all affected by it. By the grace of God, I did not serve in Vietnam, as I had an assignment spying on the Russians in Alaska. The Lord has blessed us richly in all of this, and our nation has been blessed richly over the years. I think a whole lot of it has to do with the education, with the foundation that we received then in our formative years here in North Platte. I am ever thankful that the Lord gave me this opportunity to be here, and that I continue then to have the good health and the energy to continue to serve my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ as I continue then this adventure. May He be with all of you this night.
Tonight. I didn't get up to the stage quick enough. So I wanted to give you this wonderful plaque to take home with you. And then I also wanted to give you a folder of the letters that were received on your behalf. And then I'll let you keep this at the table, but I do need this back tonight. This will be hung at the North Platte High School along on our distinguished alumni wall. And all of the students at the high school will get to see your lovely photos. So thank you very much for being here.